Hello, welcome back. Today we will be talking about active wars in Rugby Newkirk Plaza located near Flatlands in Brooklyn. This raging war between these new active gangs left innocent lives to be taken away from their families in South Flatbush. Today we will be talking about local gangs such as Koneysides, Bayway, Wock Slvts, and bands for Miyah. To start of today's video we will be talking about the passing of the big homie of Koneysides that started this war. The big homie of Koneysides was infamous Knuckles. He was very known and loved in his neighborhood and would be the first death to start this war. Knuckles was a 8-tray gangster crip and the big homie of only Koneysides, and only Koneysides was linked with Babies, making Knuckles close with a young female named Miyah from Babies and Adopt. The death of Knuckles will happen on a dark night. When tragic happened on his block, a Bayway member came through the Kirk trying to make new affiliations only to get pressed by Knuckles' little homies, and would result into a brawl, and a large group of people would start stabbing Knuckles and he would be fatally wounded to the backbone. Now back to the Tilden Babies. The people they looked up to were in jail and they had to manage the streets on their own. Before the death of Knuckles, the younger generation of the Babies would have a large control over the streets, but it would be not too long until the member Henny.K. Miyah would get her house raided due to the previous war in Rugby Hills. After the raid, Henny would be locked up for conspiracy to commit, attempt to commit, attempted distribution of a firearm, and the Tilden Babies was led to Adopt to keep the legacy going. After the death of Knuckles, Bayway would start trolling and making fun of the death of Knuckles. Later that same week Knuckles died. LeekyPT and Lil Just would be seen knocking over his candles. After Lil Just and LeekyPT knocked over Knuckles' candles, Koneysides would spark static against Bayway and didn't second guess to fight them every time they seemed. Lil Just and LeekyPT would be seen fighting Mysterio from Koneysides and another affiliated individual. After that tragedy incident, Henny from Tilden Babies would kill herself in jail, and everybody would celebrate about this situation, and Koneysides would send their condolences to the Tilden Babies. And finally Koneysides caught a murder on someone who was dissing Knuckles named Reefy Loke. Early morning at around 2 a.m., Sun Rock and 80 was outside looking for action and ran into Reefy. Reefy been dissing on Instagram, resulting into Sun Rock stabbing him, giving him multiple stab wounds, and Reefy Loke would bleed out on the scene. Viewer discretion advised. The footage is very graphic. This is where the war start to begin deadly. Gleesh and Imara ran into the big homie of Bayway, Ricky Johnson, and Imara would shoot him numerous times on fatal wounds. Ricky Johnson would get up and limp to the hospital. There is no footage of this incident. That same night Lil Just would receive a call from Ricky Johnson and would be informed that Gleesh did it, and Lil Just would be outside seeking revenge. That same night Lil Just would run into Taco Loke from Koneysides and will shoot and kill Taco Loke in self-defense. After this incident, a 13-year-old nicknamed White Boy from Kerry Gardens, Bayway was walking near Vanderveer houses with two other masked individuals trying to buy weed before running into a dot. After the tragedy of the 13-year-old boy, Bayway would be instantly seeking revenge and would catch Moon Rock and another individual the next night, injuring him. The next day, a dot would catch a Bayway member named Abretti lacking and would kidnap him and would beat him up with an illegal firearm.
Stop playing with me, nigga. This that rapper? Ja Wu? You smoking my dead? You smoking my dead? You smoking my dead? You smoking my dead, Ja Wu? You smoking my dead? Huh? Huh? You smoking my dead, nigga? Stop playing with me, nigga. What am my mother, nigga? Fuck you talking about? Look at this nigga's naked, y'all. This nigga's fucking naked. This is Ja Wu. 4100 Ja Wu, y'all. 4100 Ja Wu, y'all. Let him out right here. Get out. Get out the car. Get out the car. Get out. Get out. I'm on live. Get out. Get out.
When Bayway got information about this, Abretti would get a discipline and would have to get jumped and get back for what happened to him. Later that week, Lil Just and another Bayway affiliate would be sneaking through Newkirk looking for a op and would spot a dot in a large group. Lil Just would hit the corner and strike a dot 5 times. Fast forward to next month, a dot would be back in stable condition and would be on a fence looking for Lil Just and Bayway. A dot and 3 other individuals would go to Bayway and would catch Lil Just coming out of the Kerry Gardens building, and a dot would fire shots, missing all of them. Lil Just would chase a dot down, fatally wounding a dot once again. After a dot got shot by Lil Just would be on Instagram trolling.
Wait, get up! Get up! You got this shit! Get up!
The next day, TSO would go to Bayway trying to politic, resulting into Hesse from Sheepshead Bay getting robbed by LeekyPT and Lil Just. Lil Just would spot a dot walking with Imara, and Imara would shoot at Lil Just, and an undercover nipped officer will kill Lil Just and injure Imara. After that incident, a member from Vanderveer would be stabbed by Lil Face and other affiliates from Kirksides. After Kimi was stabbed, a new character around the Tilden Babies began to come outside named Tori. His nickname was T90 and he was close to a dot, and he would shoot at an alleged folk member because he was talking crazy to a dot. Later that week, T90 life was cut very short because he went to Vanderveer looking for a op and would fatally be stabbed by a folk member. After that, Vanderveer houses was outside celebrating the releasing of one of the big homies, D3, for coming home, and Kirksides would spin and shoot up the function, striking Kai Marcel in the back of his head. Finesse would be walking one day and would see Suave, a Kirksides member who'd been active, and would begin a knife fight. Suave would fatally lose the knife fight, resulting into his death. 3 days later, Suave brother Mondo would be killed by a masked individual. Rumors say Mondo was backdoored by a folk member. This is a major bloodshed in Rugby Hills, and crime rate have been outrageously rising once again. The war would still be ongoing, and New York Police Department have been trying their best to keep the peace of Newkirk. Does this mean indictments are coming?